John, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for
You're
having me.
welcome. Yeah, you don't need to play with the lighting anymore. You're good.
Yeah,
I think you're good.
I know. It's just
Um,
pop. When you see your face, I'm just like, I just want to get this light right. But anyway,
it'll be fine. So how long have you been in comedy for now?
oh, that's a good question. 2000. I think I started in there about 2014.
Okay.
I guess about 11-ish years. I guess this year will be yeah, something like that.
And and that was in Canada. You didn't start back in Scotland. You started here.
No, started here. Um, yeah, 2014. Yeah, I think that would be the first year. Yeah, I started here. Never started in Glasgow, but that's when I came here, I had an interest in stand up just as a fan.
Okay.
And then, growing up in Glasgow, there's no real it wasn't like, I guess like nowadays with social media and comedy classes and all that, it's a little easier
Hmm.
to know how to start these things. But back
Yeah.
then, I didn't think any of it, but I did always enjoy stand up comedy. And then when I came here, I finally just sort of, after the classic, after a breakup,
Okay.
which is how most comedians start, I feel.
Yeah. You just wanted to rent?
No, I'd been living in Canada for I guess I guess I moved here in like 2011, and then I was in a relationship for a little while there when I first came here, and then
Yeah.
after we broke up, I realized that I didn't really know anyone in Canada or Toronto, didn't really have any friends, didn't really know my way around the city that well,
Yeah.
and so I just started to go. I just basically started going to watch comedy, the Rivoli or a comedy bar or wherever there's comedy. Do you ever see you ever go to an open mic and then there's like a weird guy sitting there? And you're like, why is this weird guy sitting there? That was that guy.
Oh, you were that guy. Uh,
Yeah.
did you ever go to the French festival in Edinburgh?
Oh yeah. I haven't performed there, but I did
Like before, when you were living there?
yeah, I feel like I mean we used to go for a lot,
Yeah,
most years probably.
yeah.
I remember trying to think. I remember seeing do you know Sean Locke?
No.
Mm, British comedian.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that was like Sean Locke was on what's it called? Countdown, like Jimmy Carr
Yeah.
Countdown. Was it Countdown? Hang on, he was all yeah, very good comedian. But he was one of the first comedians I think I saw live when I was like 18, and it was incredible. I always remember that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like most people like when Edinburgh Festival comes around, especially because I'm from Glasgow, so it's like about 45 minutes away. Most people like
Oh,
at least most people go for like a day or two to
yeah.
see a few acts.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so you break up with somebody, you start
yeah,
going to comedy shows.
yeah.
What made you want to get on stage?
Well, there was a couple of reasons. One was I remember having like years ago, I used to have deliberating like social anxiety,
Oh.
like to the point where like unless I had been drinking, I could
Hmm.
barely like talk to people. I was so shy, I was so awkward. And I remember thinking to myself, even before I started doing comedy, I remember thinking like, I don't want to, I don't want this to be my life. I need to sort something out. And then after the breakup, I went to Second City just to do a course. And again, it wasn't really because I didn't have any aspirations to become a stand-up, I don't think. And
Yeah.
I really just wanted to meet people, but I also thought to myself, like, this is the biggest push towards um dealing with social anxiety because I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to talk. I don't want to, I'm scared, I was scared to be in a group,
Yeah.
um so again, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing really was the social anxiety part of it. I wanted to sort of overcome it a little bit.
Yeah.
There wasn't like, I wasn't like growing up thinking, oh, I'm always going to be a comedian or something like that. But I don't think I even thought about myself as a performer much. So it was mostly just out of almost necessity, I guess.
So was it similar to the comedy bar class where at the end you do a showcase?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so I think as far as I remember, it seems like even though it was only like 11 odd years ago, it feels like five lifetimes ago. But
wow.
as far as I remember, it was we did I think it was like once a week, wherever day it was, and then we did a showcase at Absolute Comedy up in Young and Eglinton.
Yeah.
But it was like during the day, and the guy
Oh
and
shit.
no one and we know what's funny was no one in my class invited anyone. So like there
Okay.
was maybe like 10 people there, and you've
Yeah.
been to Absolute Comedy, it's like a big thing, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like those clubs were really banking on, us bringing like hundreds of people to the shows. I remember them being a bit annoyed about it.
But it was in the middle of the day?
Yeah, I feel like it was like 12 o'clock or something.
Who wants to go? People are just waking up.
I know, I know.
Wow.
Like
Do you remember your first joke, John?
the
Can
first
I
joke
can
that
I
I performed,
yeah, can I guess what it was?
go ahead.
I think it started like this. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Is that
I'm trying to think of my first joke. I don't, this is interesting because I've been thinking about that for a while because people always ask me about that, and I can't think of my first joke. I can't remember exactly. I do
yeah.
remember having a joke about I can't remember the joke, so don't ask me, but it was about Overeaters Anonymous. And I think
Okay.
the joke was something along the lines of it's so it's so bad to you can't be anonymous when you're that fat, right? Which is,
It's it's funny, but you have to be careful now.
yeah, yeah, I know. It wasn't as PC these days. I remember the first joke I wrote. Remember, there's a couple of jokes I wrote that I remember getting like one of the first jokes I wrote that was started working well almost immediately every time was I wrote a joke about avocados and
Okay.
how because there was a period at that time where I guess what 2014 or whatever it was where they used to because they still kind of do it, but like I feel like social media, videos and stuff have taken over, but there used to just be like articles. It'd be like 12 reasons why you should eat avocados, and it was just people were just pushing avocados. It was always
Yeah.
about avocados being like good for you, making your hair shiny, you know. And I think I wish I could remember the joke. It was something along the lines of, it was telling you all the. Now let me see if I can remember. I think I said something along. I'm sick of all this avocado propaganda getting stuffed down our throat by these vegan Nazis. I think I said that. Um, and then I had a couple of examples. You should eat more avocados because did you know? Hang on. Okay, I think I got. Did you know there's more potassium in an avocado than there's in a banana? And did you know the avocados are a good source of fat? And did you know your uh, avocados make your hair soft and shiny? And then I went, I don't have any fucking hair. What's that going to do? Is it going to make my pubes glisten in the dark? There's more to that joke too, but that was
What? So you're performing in a near empty,
yeah,
absolute comedy, Young and Eglinton.
yeah,
You've taken this course.
yeah.
Um, did you know then? Okay, I this is what I want to do for work, or was
No,
was this more of a, let me continue to do this to get over my social anxiety? What was it for you?
I never. I mean, I guess I never really thought about it like, oh, I want to be a comic per se, but I did. I remember doing the performance, enjoying it going
Hmm.
well, and just met some people, started going to mics, blah 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 blah. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Um, I think I didn't. I don't. I can't remember exactly when I was kind of in the when I was like, I want to do this full time or whatever. There wasn't really like a moment. I did quit my job. I feel like I quit the last job I had was in October 2019. I quit my job to go full time in comedy. And then in March 2020,
Good timing.
Yeah, yeah. And comedy's all about timing. So, but no, I mean, I guess it was like, first of all, it was like I didn't really have a community or friends here, so like
Yeah,
that was one thing. I also was like, oh, I've never had a creative outlet that I was good at that I enjoyed,
yeah.
and I was like, you know what, this is great. Um, um, and I wasn't really doing anything with my life or anything. Kind of just hanging out, so it gave me a little focus. So I just kept doing it. You know, I wasn't like I want to do this full
Okay.
time. Or I didn't even. The first time I get paid $20, I thought it was incredible. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Speaking of getting paid, I got paid
Yeah. Do you want
pretty
my?
good.
Like, sorry. What?
I got
I was
paid
going to
pretty
say,
good from
when do you pay
that.
me for this? No,
When
I'm
do I
just kidding.
pay you? Um, I wasn't expecting the amount of money we got from the showcase.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was literally going to be like a cup of coffee and a sandwich.
What'd you end up getting?
About 70 plus bucks.
Oh, okay. Each.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is what they sent me, so so I thought,
Well, you know
oh,
what?
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I started doing comedy, I mean, so many people didn't pay for so long. Like
Yeah, of
after the
course.
pandemic, people got real better at paying. Like even like shitty shows, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there was, you know, you'd be lucky if you get $20. It'd be
Sure.
amazing if you get $50. People used to pay in cash too. It was crazy. But like $20 seemed to be the number. And I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine there was more than that. And a lot of places just didn't even pay, you know, and you know, and
Hmm.
so there wasn't a lot of money in it to be like, okay, this is enough to
Yeah.
quit my job.
That's that must be amazing being able to leave your full-time gig in 2019. I know the timing was you probably had more social anxiety than ever before come 2020, but that must have been a good feeling.
Yeah, I remember because I was working in a kitchen
Yeah.
and I remember just finishing up in the kitchen and taking off all my chef's whites and just being like, fuck yeah, you know, like yeah, it felt good. It felt good,
Yeah.
but it's you know, it's kind of I mean the world of being self-employed is tricky,
Yeah.
especially because it's up to you how much money you make, right? So
Yeah.
I can literally if I just I mean I can do nothing all day long for as many days as I want.
Yeah.
But it's not people think that's great, but you know, you're gonna be making money. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're also kinda you know, you're not guaranteed
Sure.
every 2 weeks a paycheck or whatever because you know sometimes people you know offer you X amount for a gig and then you're like okay that in your mind you're like I've got this much money that's coming in this month
Yeah.
and then they cancel the gig and you don't get any money and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Um,
that's where it's tricky, you
so
know.
when did it click for you that you could make money in this thing? And not just 20 bucks here and there if you were lucky, but when did it, like before 2019 happened, you must have thought, oh shit, I'm actually good at this. I'm making some money at it. When did that happen for you? Was there like an aha moment?
I don't know if there was. I guess like I feel like I remember thinking to myself like I would be great to be doing this full time so that I didn't have
Hmm.
to do like a job
Yeah.
because I was just working in bars and restaurants and stuff like that. Um, I don't recall, there was no real specific time when I was like, oh yeah, okay, there's money here to be made. But when you start discovering like, you know, like when you get better, you get paid more, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
you know, and then if you produce a couple of comedy shows, you know, like a comedy bar or whatever, you know, you make a little money being a producer. You can make a little money you know, doing other stuff in comedy as well, right? So it
Yeah.
all adds up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When did you like what was that the first rung on the ladder for you? Is starting to make some good income? Was there a show that you did? Was there a shout out? What was the rung on the ladder that you most remember?
Well, my first year of comedy, my first thing I in comedy that I did that I was like, oh, I could do this was I came my first year of comedy. I don't even think I'd been in it a year. I came second in the comedy brawl, which was like a big amateur competition. It was like 500
Oh
people in
shit.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I came second. Nigel Grinstead won it that year, and then the guy who booked it booked me to open for a couple of big comics, Matt Bronger, Russell Howard, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, you know, I was
Nice.
happier. I'm good at it. It's just keep going.
Yeah.
I don't think I was ever really like, to be honest, like, if you're money orientated in comedy, it can take the fun out of doing comedy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
obviously making a living is good, but if you're too focused on making money, the money
Yeah.
comes, with the
Sure.
work. But I mean, I think it was Keith Pedro. I think it was Keith Pedro that said to me, you
He's
know,
hilarious.
yeah, and he was like, keep a job until you can no longer keep a job, which basically meant like there's just can't keep a job because you're so busy booked with comedy, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of what happened to me. It was like I was just booked up every weekend, and I was working in restaurants, and obviously they want you to work at the weekend. You know what I mean? So,
I think, was it the first time I saw Keith? Maybe the second time. It was in 2020. I think it was March, if not February, um, at Yuck Yucks. And he was doing a show, and it was literally right before everything closed down. And I remember just being nervous in a crowd of people. Uh, but there was some people chatting, and he just like destroyed them, and it was like the funniest thing
yeah,
uh, that I had ever seen him do. And yeah,
yeah, Keith's great.
he's hilarious. He's doing really really well. Um,
But
what
he's
are
an
s-
example of like
yeah,
working hard, grinding hard, doesn't stop.
yeah,
He's always traveling, he's always touring, he's always writing, he's always putting out albums, he's always, do you know what I mean? And that's the grind that never stops, and that's why he's so successful.
yeah, for sure. Um, oh, I wanted to ask you this. Oh yes, what's the strangest place you've played that you've performed at?
I did a show at Oasis Sex Club. You know the Sex Club?
I've
Is your
heard of
wife around?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just checking to see if the kids are around or something. But I think that, I mean, I've done a few strange ones. It was like, I mean, there was
Wait,
a
hold
gig on
on.
that.
Let's stop at Oasis.
Mm.
Let's stop. Uh,
Yeah,
so
so
wait,
there
are
used to
people
be,
naked?
so I'd never been to a sex club before.
Okay.
Um, I mean, the thought of it was even the thought of a sex club, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that's my vibe just in general. But then I got offered to do it, and I was like, okay, I got to see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And then it's so weird because it's just weird when you go in, and it's just like not everyone's kind of naked. Everyone's sort of wearing, sometimes they're wearing a towel. People are naked. There's like porn on the TV. It smells like cum. You know what I mean? It's gross. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. And then, but everyone's very nice there, and because they're like, I feel like with like the sex community and stuff is kind of like they have their own little community. Everyone knows each other and stuff like that. So I feel like that's their
Yeah.
own little thing, right? But and then they take us to wherever the show is, and then as we're walking past this door, and I look to the right, and I see like a bunch of people looking at something, and it's just like there's like a woman who's like, I feel like she's blindfolded, she's bent over like a gym horse almost, she's getting spanked, and I'm like, what? And then the next room is comedy, so it's there's like so I guess they have, because it's like a community thing, and I guess they can't like fuck all the time. They have to have breaks. They have entertainment there. So
Okay.
they have a little stage, and then opposite the little stage is like an almost like a massive bed slash couchy type of thing where everyone chills on. So everyone comes in. Some people are naked, some people in towels. It's just weird, like, because I was like, you ever know how people always say, like, if you get nervous doing public speaking, imagine people naked.
Yeah.
It's not good, man. I didn't know where to look. I was just like, it was like, like, and I was fully dressed as well, so like I felt like I was a weird person there.
Yeah.
And so my friend is on before. I don't know if you ever meet Fuad HP, and
I
my friend
think
Fuad,
that name rings a bell. Yeah.
yeah, but he's absolutely shredded, jacked, like really buff kind of looking guy, right? So he's up there
Yeah.
and he's hosting, and they're not really digging him too much. But he acknowledges that and then just takes his shirt off, so he's fucking six pack ripped, and then people start going mad. And so no matter what he said after that, people were just enamored, right? And then I was like, I can't follow that.
Yeah.
Like that's like following, you know, it's like me like following Dave Chappelle as an open mic or something. You know, he's like nice bag. I'm not taking my shirt off, but like that's I think I made that joke, and they're like, take your shirt off, and I was like, oh, I feel so cheap, you know. Um, Surprisingly though, they weren't really. It was crazy to me because they weren't really into the sex or dating material, I guess,
Yeah.
which surprised me. But
He wanted
that was
something
strange.
else.
It was a very strange gig. They were like, "Do you want to hang out afterwards?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not." Um, I mean, there's so many strange gigs. I mean, do you want any more examples? Was that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
did a gig on a pirate boat? That was a thing for a while, like a pirate boat down by the lake. Get on the boat,
Okay.
and then they would be like maybe I don't know, 20 people max, and then
And it
you
would go out into the lake, or
they'd
it
go
would
out
still
into
be
it
docked.
would go out into the lake,
Yeah.
and then they would just start doing stand up, and like it was awkward because if you didn't do well, you're still on the boat with the people. You know what I mean? You can't like
You
if
have
you're in a
nowhere to
comedy
go.
club, like that's the thing. If you're in a comedy club and you bomb, then you just leave. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You're just on this boat, and then you have to sit next to them again, just like fuck. Um,
Oh, oh my
but
goodness. Where's
a lot of the strange gigs
um
I try. A lot of the times the
yeah.
strange gig you put to the back of your head a lot of the time, and then you remember them like at weird times in your day, and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing with my life?
I was speaking with Ernie Vicente, you know Ernie?
Of course.
He was telling me about he went to the Yukon, I think,
Oh shit,
Whitehorse.
yeah.
And he was
Mm.
like, I'm getting
Professional
paid.
thing.
Someone paid for me to come up here and do comedy.
Mm.
Um the most out of the like the wildest place you've been in terms of location, or a place that
Location.
you thought, I can't believe I'm here doing comedy.
Oh man, hang on, let me see. Um, oh God, good question.
Have you done cruise ships?
No. I don't know. Oh, I did. I mean, I did some shows in the middle of nowhere, rural Saskatchewan.
Yeah. What's
That
in
was weird.
Saskatchewan?
What?
What towns are in Saskatchewan?
I don't know.
Regina?
It wasn't even like a town like that. It was like middle of nowhere in the
Yeah.
countryside, Saskatchewan, where it's like one motel, that's it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get murdered here tonight for sure. Um,
Was that part of a tour?
yeah, there was a couple of gigs, like weekend gigs around that area.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you really get to experience places that you would never think even exist.
Yeah.
People that you don't surprisingly like, in the middle of nowhere, small towns. It's always just like, you'll see these like Canadian like hockey broy kind of farmer type guys. And then there's just like some of the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. You're like, what is going on in this small town?
What is yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, let me ask you this about the audience. Are the audiences different in small town versus
Yeah.
city and places you
Yeah.
go?
Yeah. I mean, small town people are, I mean, I guess at like big cities, people are, there's a lot of stand up. They're a bit more like cultured and stand up, and
Hmm.
maybe they're a bit more, I'd say, liberal with their opinions about things. And,
Yeah.
small towns, all they want to talk about is like dicks and sex and dirty stuff. And, not really like, the more or crowd work, where you're roasting the other town and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. They're just kind of drunk and want to have fun. They're not like there for some smart comedy, should we say, but like,
Mm.
but there's a place for that and they're fun. But, you know, like for example, people always say this. It's like if you go, you can't do a joke about the TTC in the middle of nowhere,
Of course. Yeah.
Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
because even if it's because I did do that actually because I was like this joke because the joke I was doing wasn't you don't really have to it wasn't really about the subway, it was about a customer service experience.
Yeah.
So I'm like that's relatable, doesn't matter, you don't need to know. There was nothing else
Yeah.
about the subway, it was just like me paying to get on, right?
Yeah.
And no one laughed, and I was kind of like, are you guys, I was like kind of asking them about it, and they're like, yeah, we don't have that here. And I was like, all right, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So you're
Yeah.
gonna, but also like, I was like, you don't know what it is. You can't just imagine it, you know what I mean? But also, but that's the thing, this is the thing you learn from touring around the comedy. There's certain things that are relatable everywhere, and there's
Yeah.
also things that you have to tinker and tailor to that small town because they don't they live a very different life from what you do, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You've talked to me before about crowd work.
Hmm.
You're giving me some great advice on not staying away from it, but being careful
Mm.
of doing too much of it. And I understand why you told me that. I've also seen and heard, other big comics not rail against it, but almost with the thought being this, that there's an art and a work ethic that goes into crafting a joke.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's the discipline, the writing, the testing it out, and going to open mics or other gigs and just trying things over and over, and then finally coming up with a 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute bit,
Mm.
versus you know just talking to people in the crowd and having a fun interaction. Have With everything that's going on with social media, right? Everybody like 15-minute clips, whether it's on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram. Have you found audiences that are more daring and expecting to be able to talk with a comedian because this is all they see on the internet?
Yes, no, it depends on the crowd and where you are, I guess. But
Mm,
if you're talking about like, yeah, because I mean, I guess a lot of people watch clips, so they expect crowd work sometimes. But I don't know. I mean, like some places you go, there's again, usually like a small town, they just like to be roasted and made fun of and whatever.
mm.
And you try to do jokes and they're like, no, no, go back to calling him or whatever, So, and but you know what? There's crowd work is its own separate skill. I mean, as a new comic like yourself, it's like what I've said to you is like just ease into it a little bit, just
Yeah.
to get yourself into a joke that you're about to perform. I think a lot of times now, because of the downside of the social media thing is everyone now tries to get a clip, and
Mm.
what what they do is they just try and talk to people and get something without really like, watching the show or like you'll have like five comics go one after the other doing crowd work and asking the same guy the same thing. And they don't care because they want to get the clip and that's it. But
Yeah.
um, I think but also I think like as for a new comic, it's like crowd work stuff will come and once you start hosting more, that's when you sort of
Hmm.
I would say that's why I say you sort of like hone that craft because that you're there to warm up the crowd as the host, right? But if
Yeah.
you're doing at this point you're doing 5 minute sets, 7 minute sets, 10 minute sets, you should just be getting your joke sharp,
Yeah.
right? And that's it.
Yeah.
And then once those jokes become because you're almost like if you got 5 minutes at a mic and then you're spending 1 or 2 minutes talking to people. Like, sure, you can get some laughs and it could go well, whatever, but you've just done yourself a disservice because you haven't gone and did the thing that you left your house to practice, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, things like crowd work and stuff, it's like, it is important, some comics don't even do it, right? Other people like it a lot. I'm a sort of middle ground of two, you
Yeah.
know, um, but I feel like I think, as a new comic, just getting up stage, getting comfortable, working on your jokes. And then slowly, as I say in class and stuff, it's just like, just if you're trying to get into material about XYZ, you just ask someone a question. Hey, do you do this? Yes. Boom, here's my joke, right? And then what that does is build confidence because when you're a new comic as well, it's like when you're try to do crowd work or try to talk to people, it's a very like not it can be difficult, especially if there's like challenging people in the audience as well, right? Drunk people or assholes or people who don't want to talk to you and stuff. And like, how do you navigate that? And then you've kind of fucked up your whole set. And
Yeah,
then and everyone's just kind of looking at you weird. So it's like, I would say yeah, for a little bit, just ease into it. But I mean, these clips have been good for comedy in a way because it's elevated a lot of people's careers, but it is
sure.
bad too because now everyone's like, I need to get a clip all the time, which can, ruin shows perhaps potentially. But
Yeah, fair enough. Um, who are two or three comics, John, that are up and coming that we should keep an eye out?
up and coming in the local scene,
Yeah, or
yeah,
otherwise.
yeah, I'll give a shout out Tracy Hamilton.
Okay.
Tracy Hamilton's great. She's very funny, great joke writer. Just had a great one-person show in Hamilton Fringe. Fiona O'Brien, friend of mine. She's Irish. She's really great, strong comic. She's very funny. Um, you always have a good time when she's performing. And who else? Um, Hisham Kelati. I don't know if you've met Hisham. Again,
I
he's
think I've seen him host a few shows.
yeah, and he's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
And
he
I
likes
love
the LA
people that
Dodgers.
well, a little too much for my
A
liking.
little
And but he's I like people he who share a bit of themselves with their
Hmm.
humor, like storytelling,
Yeah,
can make those things funny, right? And then you sort of like relatable stuff about them. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you asked me for three comics, and there's so many great comics in the Toronto scene, and I mean, we're spoiled here. There's like some of the greatest
yeah,
comics. I mean, there's even I've missed guys like Aaron Christie or Chris Locke. These guys have been doing it for years, but they're amazing, amazing.
yeah.
Should be household names all over the world. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Todd Graham,
Hmm. Nice.
yeah. And
What's
like as I say, as a new comic, I always tell people as well. It's like go out and see the local guys.
yeah.
So many great guys. Oh, sure, you'll see some shit ones too, right? But there's amazing comics that
All right.
just because they're not famous, you've never heard of them, but there's tons of them. And also Sammy Freed, I got Sammy's t-shirt on as well. Sammy Freed,
Here we go.
he's great.
Go see him. What's next for you, John?
Bed. Oh, I mean, in comedy or
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you
um,
even Ben? What is it? It's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday night. It's not just after 7:30.
I know, but I'm 45,
You
so
you don't have a 9 p.m. show or anything?
no, nothing tonight. So next for me is, well, I just recorded my album Just for Laughs last year in
Yeah,
September. I
yeah.
just got sent the audio for that, and I have to
Okay,
listen to that, edit that, chop it up, send it out,
okay.
put it out so I'll be putting out an album at some point this year, along with it's all being filmed as a special as well. So I'll be putting it out with Comedy Bar. I think Comedy Bar Max, I think they're called. It's part of
Okay,
Comedy
yeah,
Bar.
yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to Vietnam for a month in a couple of weeks. That's not comedy related, but if I
Oh,
don't have new 20 minutes on Vietnam when I get back, I haven't done it right.
yeah.
So yeah,
You got to write
vacation.
off that trip.
And yeah, exactly. And also the thing is like this is an important thing if anyone's new listening to this, it's like a lot of people will tell you got to be out every night grinding, working and stuff, and that's true. That's very
Yeah,
true, and you have to. There's no
yeah.
escape from being out and about, but you also
Yep.
have to live your life because you have to have
Okay.
experiences and so like going on vacations and stuff, and then you'll find some funny stuff going on there. So, but then after that, I'm just trying to get my new, I guess, I mean, I don't have a ton of new material since I taped that special, so just working on new material,
Yeah.
touring. That's it. And
All
that's the
right.
challenging part because, like brand new jokes, you feel like you're just back at the start again, like you don't know how to write a joke. And
Mm-hmm.
it's back to the grind, going to the mics, retuning, reworking them, and yeah,
Awesome. John, thank you so much for your time.
thank you.
I'll
Of
let you
course.
get to bed, but if people want to follow you on social or anywhere else, where's the best place they can go?
Instagram, TikTok, Jay Mostyn Comedy. I think I have a YouTube channel is the same. Everywhere's Jay Mostyn Comedy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, you're
I'll see you
welcome.
soon, I'm sure.
For sure. Take care of yourself.
Great. Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye, John. Take care. Bye.